share this video with a friend.
So the gold is gone from Fort Knox, trillions disappearing from major financial institutions, and so you have to say, where can it go? Because you can't steal that much and hide it. You cannot launder $1 trillion. That's a physical impossibility. Now, if you are the government and you are building hundreds of underground facilities, which is going on, and you are assisting the Russians to build 5,000 of them underground, and the other nations of the world, you're assisting with our tax dollars to build underground facilities, and they are putting in multi-millions of dollars into weapons to shoot rioters on the street. They're spending all this money cutting deals with Russia to bring over extra people to assist in the time of need.
They're training 24/7 for open war against us. It's high treason.
Okay, now, so I had to sit back and I said, well, wait a minute, what's going on? So, of course, then with just a little more inquiry, a little more snooping, and a few more people coming to you from under the table, the bottom line is simply this. They are fully anticipating a catastrophic celestial impact. That's the terminology they used when they were cutting the deal with the Russians to bring assistance over here when needed for FEMA, for the federal emergency. They are anticipating a celestial impact. What it is, they had all of a sudden discovered, and it was let's put it this way, it was a vague possibility a while back that there was going to be, that this 10th planet, the Nibiru, Planet X, whatever you want to call it, was potentially way out there and it's going to come back and make a circle through. All right, well, that was kind of close to Earth. And that was kind of a maybe possibility kind of a thing. But someplace around 1983, and it was verified by a Central Intelligence person, friend of mine out of Washington, at such a high level that this particular agent used to write speeches for Reagan and Bill Casey, with Bill Casey for a long time, head of the CIA. Anyhow, the bottom line was that about 83 sometime, in that period of time, they had some kind of a confirmation that, hey, this thing is coming back, and it's going to take a few years. It might take 20 years or so, but it absolutely will be coming back. And they started at that point in time expanding the underground facilities and all of that. And it's got nothing to do with nuclear or anything. What it has to do in reality, all of this, what irritates me more than anything is they have kept all this totally secret from the general public. They've lied and covered up about it and said, oh, no, it was this, that, and the other thing. But they have taken every single possible dollar bill and gold bar that they can, and it is gone. It's out of here. It has either been directly applied to the construction of these hideout survival facilities for the limited few.
And by the way, it's been coming out in the news. What are these giant concrete fortresses in the Ozarks and other areas? And then it turns out there's bases under them, and they're really like an underground train station, above ground terminal. That's what I've been told by people involved in the construction.
Oh, that particular construction you're talking about, by 72,000 square feet, it's registered as a private party home. The guy's a Central Intelligence operative and a genius that has put together many of the spy electronic operations that are used by our military. That's the fella, his name's Stephen Huff. He's the fellow that owns this particular large construction. It is the 4th largest house in the United States. It makes Bill Gates' place look like an outhouse.
Well, the truth is he was given the NSA satellite patents on a bunch of stuff to be given tens of billions, but he's really just the front for a government operations, my information.
Most likely that's exactly the situation. Now, where his home is located, which is over top of this multi-thousand miles of tunnels under the ground, which I was told about in 95. I got some pictures of it in 95. Didn't believe it. And have been pursuing it ever since. It's absolutely a reality. The tunnels, there's so many tunnels under the United States with these connecting things. It's like a spider web of tunnels. tunnels beneath the ground. Now, here's the bottom line. They've taken all of this money, every cent that belongs to the United States taxpayers. They've totally kept it secret. They are absolutely awaiting the incoming of this huge 10th planet is what it amounts to be. And it's in this gigantic, huge orbital configuration. Takes it like 3,000 years to come around.
And it's in the Kuiper Belt. Well, then what about all the false starts where they said it was going to come a decade ago and all that?
No, well, I can't account for all of that. I know some of it's misinterpretation of different things. The
point is that I have seen their concern about that, but that really they were going to use space-based weapon systems. The cover would be a defensive system. And I know the U.S. and Russia have had meetings at the UN. I'm just backing up what Fletcher's saying. And they claim they're building underground bases in COG, that's Continuity of Government Systems, for comets, asteroids. I think the term Planet X has become more of a archetype of all this debris. We know there's hundreds of planetoid-sized spheres, moon size and smaller, out in the Kuiper Belt that they've now picked up with radio telescopes. And a lot of them supposedly have these elliptical orbits and do come through. And the ancients all recorded these things coming close, and, then you get mountains shooting up 1,000 feet in the air and lava spraying out. Previously, they thought every 10 million years or something, a big asteroid hit the Earth. We now know they're thinking it's every couple hundred. And so they think they're on time to have this. I think Planet X, because I heard about it in 99, 2003. I always thought it was baloney, that it was going to hit us. And, of course, Bob didn't say it was going to hit us then. My point is kind of an excuse for COG. I'm not disagreeing with you that they're concerned about it, Bob. I just think the CIA guy, high level, that was telling you this might have been putting a false story on you, partially false, or he may have been fed it himself. Do you get my point I'm making?
Yeah, but that's not right. But you don't even have we just scratched surface. You can't imagine how much real statistics are on this. All right. First off, the solar flare situation. All right. It's been acknowledged by NASA. Not that this is an 11-year cycle. The solar flares have been the most outrageous they have been in 1,000 years. That's solar flares. That's being affected already by Nibiru, by Planet X. Planet X is estimated to be 5 times the size of Earth. James Woolsey, head of the CIA, been out a couple of years. A few months ago, he said, there is no question in our mind that we will have a solar flare with the potential, or several of them, the potential to shut down all electronics on either the Earth or half of the globe.
That's right. Nibiru is supposed to be bigger than Jupiter, correct?
It's 5 times the size of Earth. It's probably the size of Jupiter.
I think Jupiter's like 300 times.
The point is, it will pass around, it will come close, go around the sun, and we will run through the tail of this thing, which has like 4,000 miles of garbage. So we have so many meteorites and potential small pieces of junk hitting us. Why have we have already had more meteorites than we usually do in 5 years in the world in the last 2 years. That's also already being affected by Nibiru. Coming back in.
Wait a minute. I got to stop you right now,
Sure.
and my wife is a witness to this, and I just entered Twilight Zone. I was down at the beach at just some funky condominiums we go and rent for 2 or 3 days to go fishing down in Port Aransas, and a guy comes and knocks on my door and he said he was going to email it to Do. Go see if he emailed it to Do. Because I gave him his email because I always miss stuff. I never check mine. The point is, I might as well not even have email. He comes and knocks on my door and says, I want to send you these photos that I took. And he was bringing up Planet X to me, and he was saying, look at this. This was taken in Austin a week ago. It's funny I ran into you here. I thought it was really weird. And he was showing me photos of in broad daylight, and it wasn't a sun flare because he showed me video.
No.
And I could see it from behind the tree, so it wasn't a sun flare, but that could be anything. I mean, that could be a satellite.
That's correct.
Who knows?
That's correct. I have, and most of them are on my new video. I'm hoping to get the darn thing out. I don't even know if it'll get out. That's how much trouble they've had. The bottom line is we have pictures of it, particularly stuff taken from the southern end.